Welcome back to Good Day. So we're about 7 weeks into the new year, and so many people were ready to turn over a new leaf, eat more healthy, but you know, maybe you failed a little bit. You're not exercising like you planned on doing, maybe too many Doritos.
Things happen.
Oh, you're one of those people.
I love Doritos. Things happen. A registered dietitian and clinical coordinator for diabetes education services at Mercy Health St. Vincent Medical Center, Jeannine Wagner, can help us this morning. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Amanda and Stephen. I'm glad to be here.
Happy to have you.
Did you bring us big fat deposits?
That's what it looks like.
Is this what you brought for us today?
You know, so many people, they ramp things up. They're so motivated. Going into the new year, I'm eating healthier, I'm exercising every day, an hour a day, maybe overachieving there, right? But if they've fallen off a little bit, which is normal, how can they get back on the wagon a bit?
So, good question. There was a study done at Baylor College of Medicine, and they did find that about 88% of people do fall off their goals by the end of January. And unfortunately, the second weekend or second Friday in January is called Quitter's Day. And honestly, I don't believe we have a bunch of failures out there. I just think it's a failure to plan, to think things through, that sometimes people just jump into resolutions, maybe because their friends are doing it. Maybe it's not something that's really what they're motivated to do. So I encourage people to just take a deep breath, step back, look at what maybe went wrong before they can get back on track, so that they don't repeat their mistakes. So did they have unrealistic expectations? Were they expecting to lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks? Were they expecting to go to the gym? I'm gonna go to the gym every single day and I'm gonna be drinking all my water. Were they expecting perfection? Or what we say all or nothing type thinking. I didn't go to the gym today. I was supposed to go every day. I already blew it, you know.
So I'll just eat the bag of Doritos.
Yeah. And they do go
done.
hand in hand. You know, the activity and the eating, when you're doing one healthy lifestyle behavior, it does help the other one to follow. So if I get off track with my eating and I am regularly exercising, it doesn't make as big an impact. So, you know, maybe not having a support system. You know, we all need a cheerleader. We all need someone that's, hey, you can do this. And we need to stay away from those naysayers. And
they're out there.
They are
out there.
Saboteurs.
Yes.
But and also just not planning for situations that we might be in, not thinking it through.
I'm going to that Super Bowl party, and I know that there's going to be Doritos and cookie cake. And
exactly.
So how do you help people set more reasonable and attainable goals when it comes to just getting healthy?
So, well, the first thing with this I say is forgive yourself. If you have fallen off track, you know, lifestyle changes, there's always a normal process of
You're
just
good. So, yeah, I think that we got to reframe our brain a little bit, but go, it's okay. We can do this. But what kind of planning? You said sometimes it's a bad planning or a lack of planning. How can we plan ahead for just like the daily thing to make sure we're making good decisions every day? Can we plan ahead for that? One
of the things I do with my patients is something called SMART goals. We set SMART goals, which are more specific. You know, instead of I want to lose weight, it's that I want to do this by this time, and this is how I'm going to go about it. So those specific, and then measurable. So instead of, you know, that general lose so many pounds, I'm going to do it so much, you know, per week. Or the exercise, you know, instead of, you know, thinking I got to do it every day this week, what could I add in maybe 3 days a week? Or could I add something in on my lunch hour? Attainable. So yeah, an attainable goal. So to get activity, if schedule is tight, it might be, hey, I'm going to walk 15 minutes on my lunch hour, which will energize me and bring me back to being a better coworker. Yes.
It will,
better
because-
coworker,
yeah,
yeah.
because it helps with the mental health, that physical
Yeah.
exercise as well.
And I think helps us to make good decisions. too,
Yeah,
after that as well.
absolutely. And you feel good about yourself. So you have some examples of things. Looks like this is possibly some belly fat. That's here.
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, I think so.
It's kind of heavy. How much is this?
What do you guess? What do you think?
Hold on.
It
It's
looks a lot.
probably like 8 pounds.
You know, you're close.
close?
It's 5.
5. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
And it
So this
seems
is-
like a lot
It
more.
does seem like a lot more.
Oh, so is this muscle then?
Yeah, so
Oh.
that's 1 pound of fat and 1 pound of muscle.
Oh, look at that. The lean. It's much leaner. Yeah, look at that.
And I like to show those with patients to celebrate progress.
Oh, nice.
Hey, if they lost a pound this week, this is what you've lost.
This is what you've lost.
Yeah.
Because
That's a
really,
big deal.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
big deal.
It is.
Because it takes a lot to get to losing a pound.
Absolutely. So it's nice to see those wins. And these visuals help a lot too.
Yeah.
So we have some pop here and also a bag of sugar. So I'm assuming this amount of sugar is in this pop.
Yeah, so it's about 1/3 of a cup that you're getting in one
So
20
that-
ounce of any regular pop.
Oh my goodness.
So that could be something that you cut.
Exactly.
And yeah, because you're drinking that.
I think of that as one of those low-hanging fruit things.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Yeah.
not getting
Okay, this
into
can go.
affecting food and, you know, filling up,
Mm-hmm.
but with something like that, I mean, you could easily, so to lose this pound of fat,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's making a difference of 500 calories each day.
Okay.
Maybe it's 250 calories less.
And that's one of these right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Maybe you're drinking 2 of these a day.
Yeah,
Or
and
even more.
Some people drinking more. Now you have a plate of food here. So can you just break down what you have on the plate and how maybe these portion sizes plus what's there can help people in their day-to-day when it comes to decision making with food?
Sure. So I don't promote any one specific diet. You know, I work with patients and I try to ascertain their food preferences, you know, get to know them a little bit. But I will always encourage people from getting foods from all your food groups and not eliminating one group. You know, we all know there's different diets out there that promote, you know, different
No
things.
carbs or, yeah.
Yeah. Or, the high protein, high fat. But I do believe when you cut something out, one, nutritionally over time that's not so good for your body, but 2, that causes you to really want that food again. So I like to see people eat from all our food groups, and kind of the way I emphasize things is to think in terms of half your plate vegetables and the non-starchy ones, because they will help put bulk into your body and have you feel fuller.
Okay.
You know, as your stomach stretches, that triggers your brain to get the message that you're full. So it's basically all the vegetables except corn, peas, and beans and potatoes. Doesn't mean you can't have those,
Right.
but the other ones have more water and they're what we call free. So the potato represents your starchy foods, your rice, pasta, bread, cereals. So we say maybe keep those to a little bit of a limit. Add in your serving of fruit. We really push, you know, the fruit along with the vegetables. It's a positive too. It's something you can add in more, and
it's sweet, nature's candy.
exactly. And I find oftentimes when people do work a regular amount of fruit, and they tend not to crave sweets as much.
There you go. And then your
So-
protein there too, of course. it's gonna make you feel
Exactly.
full.
I definitely encourage protein with every meal and snack because it does have some satiety effect with it. And then, of course, plenty of water.
Yes.
I think that's where
Plenty
people
of
miss,
water.
people miss out on making sure that you're getting as much as you're supposed to get every day. So a great information here today. Thank you for being here and for kind of showing us and walking through this. If you can do it,
You can.
it's okay. Like you said, take a deep breath.
Journal.
Write down what you're
Track and
tracking.
journal,
Tracking.
because when you do that, you really are aware of your habits.
Yes, and then you might go, oh, I didn't realize
Yeah.
I was eating that.
Or
And
drinking.
sometimes when you're making the change, you recognize it, you're more likely to make the change than if somebody's pointing it out to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's true.
Very true. Great stuff. Thanks so much for being here
Yeah,
today.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Good Day. Make sure you stay with us.